Live. Welcome to the Puffin TikTok channel. Sorry, I guess it's as close to the Puffin TikTok channel as it can be. It's the Puffin YouTube channel. Hello, Net and YouTube. So, I always say Net and YouTube to make fun of YouTube for being a Zionist platform. But TikTok has gone Zionist now, or more Zionist. TikTok has gone more Trump talk. TikTok has become Trump talk even more today. So I'm expecting the TikTok refugees to come back to YouTube. Welcome, TikTok refugees. And that we will have intelligent people on YouTube for the first time in like 5 years. So, I mean, there's been a few scattered here and there, probably never feel like speaking up because of how many trolls and stuff are here. But we're going to have intelligent people on YouTube now because they've left TikTok. So, all the conversation, all the intelligent people were previously on TikTok. But now that TikTok's gone so Trump talk, now that TikTok's gone so fascist, we can expect them back here, so we can expect to have good conversations. So, welcome to the live. Looking forward to good conversations with you. Looking forward to people in the future. Looking forward to a really good time in general after Trumpism is over, after Zionism is over, and there is no more Trumpism or Zionism. And we're getting there. Um, it's like we're chipping away at it, but there is a dam that will burst. So we're chipping away at Trumpism and Zionism, and then the dam bursts, and we wipe it all away forever. I'm looking forward to the post-Trump world. Think about when these Trump-Hooteneers have had severe consequences, when there's all these examples of what happened to them, that nobody ever wants to be like that again. Nobody ever wants to admit that they were like that. It's going to be a good time when we've eradicated Trumpism and Zionism and other types of fascism and supremacy from humanity. And we're getting there. We're going to be there. S.M. Anderson is going to be our first comment of the day. So let's read it. Of this live. The genius thought of dissing YouTube while being on YouTube. Good job, Lefty. Yeah, YouTube sucks. YouTube exists. It's the only platform I use. But YouTube sucks. It's not realistic to act like YouTube doesn't suck. I would criticize TikTok when I was on TikTok too. But mostly, I enjoyed TikTok the way it used to be. It was good. Now it sucks. Part of the reason TikTok sucks is because they kicked me off for being anti-Trump and being pro-Gaza. And I don't want to be on a platform that kicks me off for being anti-Trump or being pro-Gaza. I don't want to be on a platform that's pro-Trump. And again, Net and YouTube. Net and YouTube is some of those same things, but we're used to it. Like nobody cares or something here. They're not doing it like they're doing it on TikTok. They're not controlling the conversation like they control it on TikTok, because on YouTube, it's like nobody cares because nobody's here. However, they messed up and it's going to backfire on them. The way they're censoring TikTok is going to drive people back to YouTube. And then we will have, not just YouTube, but other platforms too. But the fact that we have, if we get 10% of ex-TikTokers on YouTube, dude, that's going to radically change YouTube. YouTube will become a whole nother platform just from having those TikTokers back. So they really messed up. They could have just left TikTok the way it was. It's like when they made LSD illegal. It made it really popular. There's a lot of things that they do that backfire on them. Like if they call in the military against the protesters in Minnesota, the military is going to side with the protesters. The military is going to join the protest side and stop the ICE agents. So really, it's a matter of, just knowing how to make their plans backfire on them, because they're always wrong. They never deserve to have anything work because they're terrible. So just make it backfire on them. They ruined TikTok. Well, let's make that backfire on them by making YouTube better than TikTok ever was. I mean, we don't really have that choice, because the thing that made TikTok so good was they would let you see things that you liked. They weren't just trolling everybody by amplifying right-wing hate speech all the time, like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube do. But now they do. So everybody's going to hate TikTok for that. And everybody got used to being able to say things, with certain restrictions using TikTok speech. Everybody got used to be able to say things, and now they want to say things again. But what we have to make up for what TikTok used to do. TikTok used to let us see things that we like. So that's why, all the anti-Trump resistance was happening on TikTok, because they wouldn't let you see that stuff on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. So all the anti-Trump stuff was on TikTok, and now they're trying to shut down the anti-Trump stuff on TikTok. That's just going to drive all those people who are anti-Trump, who used to not be on any of these platforms, back to these platforms. Yes, praise Allah. Someone asked, can you say praise Allah to combat fascist Islamophobic U.S. rhetoric? Thanks. Thank you for asking. Praise Allah. Why are you saying these things? Okay, look, you don't deserve drugs. Okay, all you Doge losers, like, all your identities should become, public information, so nobody ever associates with you. You strike me as somebody who worked for Doge, Cash by committee, Cash City by committee. Okay, you hate Trump and Doge. Okay, then why was your first comment Trump's biggest fan? Seriously. Like, you don't make yourself look good when you start off a conversation by saying Trump's biggest fan. Are you referring to yourself, or are you insulting me? You see what I'm saying? I made about $6 million. You can't even type words and numbers because you look like you like Trump. Dude, what does that even mean? Look, let me give you some pro tips real quick. Your first sign that I don't like Trump, a physical being. I'm not a bot. Okay, first sign that I don't like Trump. First sign that I hate Trump. I have a physical body. That's the first sign. You should have known right there, 99.9% chance. That person has a physical body. They must hate Trump. Second sign, second indicator that I hate Trump. I'm speaking English in an American accent. All Americans hate Trump. Dude, don't go around thinking that. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to save my hate and scorn for the actual MAGAs, because you can see we got these actual dumbass MAGA troll Trump-ootneers in the chat. I don't mind talking to you. I don't think bots... I think most of Trump's fans are bots. They don't have physical bodies. All Americans hate Trump. If you don't hate Trump, yeah, people with physical bodies don't like Trump. Trump's fans are like bots. Trump's fans don't really exist. They're just bots. Turn to Allah. And pass. What is this about Allah? Is it Allah or Allah? Well, dumb Americans who voted for Trump. Yeah, I mean, there are dumb Americans who voted for Trump, but they're not Americans anymore. They're Trump-ootneers. And they're not really humans anymore. They're zombies. They're Trump-ootneers. I hate Trump, but I live in Texas and people love Trump, bro. Well, Texas doesn't count, does it? Didn't Trump kill 300 Texans with that flood? I mean, how did Texans feel about Trump killing 300 Texans? Do Texans hate Texans as much as the rest of us do? Or are you just like 300 Texans? That's 300 less Texans. Like, how did y'all feel about that? When Trump killed those 300 Texans, did you guys realize, were they able to let you, how did he start? No, he prevented the rescues. They didn't, Texas didn't allow you to hear about that, did they? They just blocked that. They just firewalled that information from Texas. They intentionally killed 300 Texans, and they killed a couple dozen Christian camp girls, but he probably was kidnapped some of those too. Some of them disappeared. He probably kidnapped them. I hate Trump very much, but I think wacko claims about Trump hurt the movement against him. Okay, so do you think it's a wacko claim that Trump gave Bill Clinton a blowjob? Trump gave Bill Clinton a blowjob. Agree, disagree? We call him Donica Putinsky, BJT. We call him BJT, Donica Putinsky. Dude, I don't dehumanize you. You dehumanized yourself by being a goddamn Nazi. Okay, watch what happens to these ICE agents. Watch what happens to Kristi Noem. But look, this is why they called him BJT and Donica Putinsky, because he sucked Bill Clinton's dick, right? So what's your take on that? Is that a crazy claim? Or you're like, no, he sucked a horse's dick. Like, which one is it? So guns are wrong according to you guys? You guys stopped being 2A once Trump decided he wants to kill gun owners? BJT and BB's PP. Yeah, BJT. You can call him BJT. You can call him Donica Putinsky. I guess we lost the... Sasha Riley. Thank you, Specston. Specston. That's all you can say sometimes. You just say Sasha Riley. You need the reaction for when you say Sasha Riley, right? You can't even say listen. I say listen to Sasha Riley sometimes. I usually talk a lot, as you can probably tell, right? But when it comes to Sasha Riley, dude, all I can say is Sasha Riley. Like, have you heard of Sasha Riley yet? Try living in the UK, pal. You change your tune real quickly. You sound like a fascist. Colt O'Connor 782, Colton Connor 782. You sound like a fascist. You sound like somebody that somebody else would do better having your property. Oh my gosh. BJT. Benjamin Netanyahu's PP. Oh, BB's PP. I'm sorry, I misread you. DJT does metaphorically suck Benjamin Netanyahu's PP, and maybe real life. But you know how BJT sucked Trump, how BJT sucked Bill Clinton's penis, right? Sasha Riley. Why shouldn't I say Sasha Riley one more time? Sasha Riley, Sasha Riley, Sasha Riley. Is that what it is? All love to you too. Thank you. Are any of you TikTok refugees? Did any of you come here from TikTok? Do you know who TikTok really is? Do you know? Are any of you TikTok refugees? Is this your first time back on YouTube because TikTok ended today? Gay Boner. Yes, Gay Boner. Something about Gay Boner. Was Gay Boner the one who was in that Shake Weight commercial? Sasha Riley, Sasha Riley, Sasha Riley. What are we going to talk about, Sasha Riley? Dude, immigration is not out of control. Just calm down, dude. Nation of immigrants, okay? I hate Trump's guts. I've never been on TikTok, and I think you are likely someone with serious mental health issues. The thing is, you don't hate Trump's guts, okay? Let's read all your comments for a second. I'm the most anti-Trump channel on TikTok and on YouTube. I'm the most anti-Trump channel there is, okay? You don't hate Trump if you have a problem with me. Like, if I had a problem with somebody but they hated Trump, I'd get over that problem. Like, I think Eminem sucks as a rapper. Perfect example. I think Eminem fucking sucks, right? Eminem just, he's not really good. He got that nasally voice that white rappers have. It's just annoying, right? But he hates Trump. So I'm down, dude. Like, if Eminem hates Trump, he's an American hero. I don't care that I don't like his rap. I'll try to like his rap because he's an American hero for hating Trump. So you're sitting here finding some problem with me because I brought up Trump sucking Bill Clinton's cock? Like, Look, we can say Epstein files on YouTube. You can't say that on TikTok anymore. You can't talk about Epstein files. Dude, I don't think Eminem's a good rapper. Like, I like other rappers. I just don't like Eminem. I've never liked him. But I like him because he's anti-Trump. And I can get down, like, I can enjoy his rap now because I like him because he's anti-Trump. I can get over not really liking his sound. I didn't say I had to be your hero for hating Trump. I'm just saying I hate Trump. I'm going to go ahead and ally myself with anybody else who hates Trump. I don't care if they are crazy. If they hate Trump, you're on my side. But this person has a problem. He says, I think people saying Trump blew Bubba is dumb, but Trump blew Bubba. Okay, let's find out what your reasoning there is. You're basically saying your number one prerequisite, like someone if they hate Trump. That's radical. What? I cannot like someone who doesn't hate Trump. If you don't have the presence of mind, if you don't have a conscience, if you're not intelligent enough to hate Trump, or at least be against Trump, if hate is not the right word for it, if you can't at least be against Trump, dude, I cannot connect with you. Why didn't Biden release the files? That's a very good question. Why didn't Biden arrest Trump? 3 questions here. Why didn't Biden release the files? Why didn't Biden arrest Trump? Why did Biden allow the genocide? Why did Biden do those 3 things? Do y'all have any? I can give you my answers, but does anybody else have answers? Nobody wants, what? Only smart people hate, yeah, only smart, what? No, everybody, dumb people hate Trump too. I'm not saying only smart people hate Trump. I'm saying all smart people hate Trump. If you're smart, but you don't hate Trump because your mind's been hijacked by Trump bullshit, that's not very smart. It's just like anybody who knows Jesus hates Trump. Yeah, I didn't see anybody defending Biden or Bill Clinton. I don't really know what y'all are talking about. If I need to read your comments, put an emoji in the chat, because I didn't read most of your comments. No, we're going to need politicians. Are you just against democracy? We're going to need, I don't know, President Jasmine Crockett, President AOC, President Cardi B. A, B, or C? President A, OC, President B, Cardi B, or President JC, Jasmine Crockett? Hello. They're all going to jail except for Cardi. Why would they go to jail? AOC and Jasmine Crockett and Ilhan Omar? President Cardi B. Yeah, dude, she can be president. I've saw some rumors that she's going to run. She's basically Bernie with a body. You said give me Bernie, but Bernie with a body, Cardi B. See, but look. Yeah, see, this is the person who's trying to make Bernie supporters look bad. He's like one of those fake Bernie supporters. You're a fake Bernie supporter, right? That's your job, to be a fake Bernie supporter? You were one of the people who tried to make Bernie supporters look bad by saying stupid shit, right? Arch City, Ache City by committee. Like, you were one of these people who's tried to make Bernie supporters look bad by saying stupid shit, right? Because why wouldn't you vote for Cardi B? Why would you vote for Bernie but not Cardi B? You're a racist? What's the reason? You voted for Bernie. Why wouldn't you vote for Cardi B? What's your problem? Because here's the thing. If you would vote for Bernie, but you wouldn't vote for Cardi B, it's because you have a personal problem. It's because you have a problem that you need to deal with and address and resolve, and then support Cardi B. If Cardi B had Bernie for a vice president, are you starting to get it yet? If Cardi B's running for president and Bernie's her vice president, are you trying to find somebody else to vote for? Because why? Because why? Because why? I love Cardi B, but can't stand Bernie. What? Are we talking about the same Bernie? Bernie Sanders, the politician? Or are you talking about like Bernie Mac or somebody? Rumor has it. Why wouldn't you like... Dude, Cardi B supports Bernie. That's the whole point. Y'all are thinking of Nikki Fuentes Minaj, Tyronika Biggums. Oh my gosh. You guys are thinking of Nikki Fuentes Minaj, Tyranika Biggums. This is the only reason I'm glad that Nikki Fuentes Minaj came out for Tyranika Biggums is you guys keep saying Cardi B's MAGA. No, Cardi B's for Bernie. You guys are thinking about Nikki Fuentes Minaj. Not all black people are the same. You're thinking of Nikki Fuentes Minaj. They're such idiots. You're thinking of Nikki Fuentes Minaj, Tyranika Biggums, J. the Assassin, J.D. Vance. I'm sorry. Guys, I'm sorry if you're like an American or a human or something, and we got all these Nazis bots in the chat. Like, they're just a distraction. Like, I don't usually read their comments. Can't you tell I like Bernie? Like, physical body. I speak in American. Like, every American likes Bernie. The left are the last Americans left. Yeah, we're the only Americans. Thank you, Grow Malone. Are any of you guys from TikTok? Any of you guys leave TikTok today? We're looking for the people who just came back to YouTube from TikTok. But I'm anti-immigration. No, you're not. You can't like Bernie and be anti-immigration. We don't need you. You don't like Bernie? Yeah, you guys got your black girls mixed up. Nicki Minaj was speaking at TPSA with Erica Kirk. Duh. Nikki Fuentes Minaj. Tyranika Biggums. Being in the center is being fascist, dude. Okay, if you're in the center, how do you feel about the ICE terrorists and their concentration camps? If you're in the center. I like Bernie and I'm anti-capitalist. See, that fits. I like Bernie and I'm anti-capitalist. That's somebody who likes Bernie. Which country system is the best? I don't know. China? I don't know. I don't normally read the chat. I mean, I'm trying to read the chat now, but like I'm gonna need you to put ICE is out of control and should get out of suburbs. Yeah, ICE are terrorists. Okay, if they call in the military should be talking openly about how they're gonna kill the ICE terrorists. There is a war on terror. The military has a war on terror. ICE are the terrorists. So the military should be talking about how they're going to kill the ICE agents if they get deployed to Minneapolis. ICE is Gestapo, and I'm in the center. Okay, I can tell you're in the center because you like have some type of problem with talking about Trump blowing Bill Clinton. So you're protecting the Democrats. You protect the Democrats in the Epstein files. But you're like, it's wrong to protect the Republicans in the Epstein files, but you protect the Democrats in the Epstein files. Am I reading you right? You protect like Biden and Clinton because you're a centrist. That's the way this works. You protect Bill Clinton being in the Epstein files. Center gay? Are you center gay? Sorry, I was trying to have conversation with one of the people that seemed like they were worth having conversation with. But if I need to read your comments and I missed your comments, just put an emoji in the chat. I'll read all your comments. So what we need is automatic citizenship for everyone. ICE contacts, life in prison for all ICE agents and all their enablers. We're looking forward to TikTok refugees coming to YouTube, people who have been spoiled by how great TikTok is. They come back to YouTube and find this cesspool of Nazis, and they're like, oh no, that's terrible. But hey, I'm going to curse the Nazis. You know, we got so many Nazis in the chat. I'm going to curse the Nazis. I'm cursing Trump and Putin and Netanyahu through the Nazis. Yes, okay, hold on. We got a good person here. Meal Allison. Miss Allison. Miss Allison? D? So impressed with that book. Yeah. So this is basically my religion. He wrote so much good stuff. L. Frank Baum. Yes, Miss Allison D. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your comment. Let me see if you've made any other. Did you just arrive? Let me see if you made any other comments, because I am desperate for somebody who's not a Nazi to talk to. Well, thanks for making that comment. Please comment more. A lot of Nazis on YouTube. Okay, TikTok refugees are going to come here and they're going to be like, oh shit, it's all Nazis. It's just a Nazi platform. And it does appear to be that way. I don't even know what it's like scrolling through the lives on YouTube. There's probably 4 people live right now, versus however many there were on TikTok, like 4 million. But you can't be on TikTok anymore. Sorry about that. We are going to rescue TikTok. Okay? We're going to rescue TikTok from the well that the evil Gnome King threw him in. Allison just arrived. Not a Nazi. Thank you. You can say Nazi. It's, again, one benefit of YouTube is you can just say Nazi. You don't have to say Yahtzee or Schnazi or any of this childish bullshit that diminishes what the fuck they are. But I call them Trumpoutineers. Trumpoutineers means Nazis and pedophiles. Okay. Dude, you are a Trump. You are kind of a Nazi if you're like Democrats and Republicans, same side, 2 wings, same bird. You know, if you're like that, dude, that's like Trump saying there's good people on both sides. Both sides is not a thing. Okay? Those are Nazis. You are a Nazi calling everyone else a Nazi. TikTok is trash now, but we can still rescue TikTok. Say that to Polish. See what happens. Dude, if you're a Polish Nazi, you're a Polish Nazi. There are Polish Nazis right now. There's unfortunately a lot of them. You know, every European country has to like make sure to not vote for the Nazis. And Italy failed, I think. Hungary might succeed this time, but Hungary's failed at that. You're a Polish commie. Okay, so you're anti-Nazi. See? Wouldn't you agree, though? If there's a Polish person who's a Nazi, they're a fucking Nazi. Just like Jewish Nazis, like Netanyahu. Puffin for president 2028. Thanks. What? YouTube doesn't let you type Nazi? No, that next person typed Nazi. You can't type Nazi? Try it again, Lulu. Really? Let's look at all your comments, YouTube. Let's see if it lets you type them. Lulu says DJT's and BB's PP. Yeah, Donica Putensky sucked BB's PP. Read that again. I was saying DJT sucked Benjamin Satan Yahoo's PP. Yeah, he sucks a lot of D. Trump psyops me in 2016. I'm so sorry. Ember advice. How has your life improved since January 2024? When Trump said he loves the uneducated, he meant the ones who haven't finished school yet. You guys got your black girls mixed up. Nicki Minaj was speaking at TPSA with Eric Kirk. Duh. I only like politicians who don't take money from AIPAC, like AIPAC or Jays. Like, you don't have to say Jays. You can say Zionists. We're ending Zionism. No one's trying to end Judaism, but we're ending Zionism, right? We're ending Nazism. I only like politicians who take money from AIPAC or Zionists like Sheldon Adelson. I'm just going to help improve that for you. Because if you say Jews, that makes you sound like you have a problem with Jews. That's not good. That's a problem you want to address. I don't think you have that problem, but for people who have that problem, they need to address that problem. Okay. Are we up to date? Thank you for recognizing TikTok of Oz, Allison. Was I right to call you Allison? Are you still here? I do apologize for all the Nazis. Someone as sweet as to be named Allison and to recognize the Oz books, you know, it's terrible that you're amongst these Nazis. Oh, most people on YouTube Live are anti-Trump? I was not familiar. I was not familiar that most people on YouTube were anti-Trump. That's awesome. That's really good news. Really good news that most people on YouTube are anti-Trump. Well, it's going to be a lot more now that they shut down TikTok. Hit the blue fairy one time before the live is over. Okay, sure thing. I'll sing other songs for you too. I'm glad you liked that one, but I like singing that song. No, I'm Denver. We beat Wisconsin, so I just hung that up as a trophy. But I mean, besides Aaron Rodgers, I like what's it called pretty well. Green Bay. They're a cool team because they're owned by the fans. That's cool. Okay, I'll sing you the song The Blue Fairy. If you ever see me looking around after I say I'm going to sing the song The Blue Fairy, it's because I have a Jiminy Cricket here somewhere, but I don't see him. Anyway. So by request from James Wilson, I'll sing you the song The Blue Fairy. It goes like this. Say you want to be a real boy, so why run away from me? I'm sorry. I'm going to sing this song over again. I feel like I missed the chance to talk to somebody that actually knew what TikTok was. And I feel like she went away because of you stupid Nazis. And I wish you stupid Nazis didn't exist. Yeah, commies are anti-Nazi. Like, what the hell, dude? Are you just an idiot? Hi. Hi, I am dabbling. Okay, let me restart the song. It goes like this. No, I said Trumpism are the real Nazis. Hi, Dwight. Hi, dabbling. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming in. Grand Rising 310. Man, Ruth. Thanks for being here. Are you from TikTok? Oh my gosh. I think I might meet this Nazi who masquerades as anti-Trump. I hate people who support Trump, but almost more than I hate that, I hate people who pretend to be anti-Trump. They pretend to be Bernie supporters. And then they're just like homophobic and like sexist pieces of shit. I might have to curse this motherfucker. Ake City by committee, I might have to curse you. Because I know that you're a fucking Nazi. And you're pretending to be anti-Trump and anti-ICE. And dude, we don't need people like you. Aw. Thanks, Trey. I appreciate that. I don't have any mods. That's why there's so many Nazis in here. Sorry about that. If people are offended by the Nazis, sorry about that. But I promised a true fan a song, and the song is The Blue Fairy. So I'm going to start singing that song again. I should have sang it earlier. Do-do-do. All right, this is the song The Blue Fairy. It goes like this. Say you want to be a real boy, so why run away from me? I'm the voice inside your head now. I'm your closest company. The blue fairy watches us with our own eyes, knows we'll grow out of our lies. The blue fairy makes us real when we believe we can escape from you and me. You smashed me when I tried to warn ya, ignored my ghost along the way. Tricked into gold farming, they tied you to a tree until the fairy saved the day. The blue fairy watches us with our own eyes, knows we'll grow out of our lies. The blue fairy makes us real when we believe we can escape from you and me. They tried to hide you in a donkey's skin and ears. They tried to hide you in a whale. They tried to hide you in a puppet show of fears, pinned inside a splinter jail. The blue fairy watches us with our own eyes, knows we'll grow out of our lies. The blue fairy makes us real when we believe we can escape from you and me. Now I call Trumpism Nazi pedophiles. They're pedophiles who are Nazis. So Nazis who are also 100% pedophiles, every single one of them, because I'm sure some Nazis were pedophiles, but not every single one of them 100%. They weren't all like, they weren't cheering on Hitler because of his pedophilia and making themselves therefore all pedophiles. But Trump Putiners did that. They do everything that Nazis do, and then they add pedophilia to it. So they're, and like, Nazis probably betrayed Germany to some extent. Well, fuck Germany, right? Trump Putiners betrayed America. That's different. Politics aside, bro's voice would sound nice with acoustic guitar. Well, thanks. I'll sing you another song. Keep hitting the reaction buttons, and we'll get more people like you in the chat, and it'll be better. If you want to meet more people like you, hit the reaction buttons, send emojis and comments and stuff, and we'll get more people like you in the chat. See, the way these Nazis work is they ratio people by, constantly bombarding them so that more Nazis come in. And nobody wants less Nazis is what everybody wants. So thanks for the reactions. I'll sing you another song. The Blue Fairy is a character in the book Pinocchio. So this is the Blue Fairy is the one who makes Pinocchio the real boy. Trump is saving America from people who sing about fairies. It says we have 23 people watching. There's probably about 40 or 60 in here. It doesn't want to count correctly because, again, YouTube suppresses my content because I'm anti-Trump. So what you guys want to do, what's the most you would ever do for a joke bit? I don't know. When you asked that question, it made me think, what's the sound of waterboarding Trump? One of my jokes is, what's the sound of waterboarding Trump? Putin, 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 Putin. Okay, so another joke I do is just Trump Putiners or Space Force in the streets, flat Earth in the sheets. Okay. So I'll sing you the song Made Me a Monster. Maybe I was a vampire. Maybe I was a dream you tried to keep. Maybe I was a beehive of desire. Maybe I was a nightmare running free. Maybe I was asleep all day. Maybe I was in the Bat Cave serving tea. Maybe I was just a disco ball away. Maybe she lights up and sets me free. My mama made me a monster. I fell in with the lonely ones. We fell out of the crowd. My mama made me a monster. She loves us like we are the only ones. Tells us we are born this way to be ourselves and be proud. Maybe I had a screw loose. Maybe lightning made this puzzle live again. Maybe burned by all the torches and abuse. Maybe I was only looking for a friend. Maybe I was rolled too tightly. Maybe buried me down in a tomb of gold. Maybe stuck inside a statue that looked like me. Maybe needed to get out of all the old. My mama made me a monster. Our royal family was unknown to us. When we fell out of the clouds, my mama made me a monster. She took us in and made a home for us, where she says it is okay to play and be loud. Maybe I changed in the moonlight. Maybe it brought out the true beast underneath. Maybe my paws up made it feel so right. Maybe I'll stay this way if I show her my teeth. Maybe I played under a bridge some. Maybe I never took the yellow road above. Maybe a unicorn'll be my new religion. Maybe ride me on that highway to love. My mama made me a monster. Bedazzling dreams she fashioned clothes for us, with telephones for crowns. My mama made me a monster. Designer styles of love outgrown by us. Cast to show the real you in fantastic hand-me-downs. My mama made me a monster. Okay, let's read some of your comments. Somebody thought they had questions. I'm sure they meant their questions. They said, especially when he doesn't answer any genuine questions. You surely must mean your questions, right? You must think that you have genuine questions. Maybe you do. I'm sorry if I missed them. I am genuinely sorry if I missed your questions. We'll read them all right now. The UK should do what Poland is doing. Okay, so we can't read your questions like that. Because I don't trust what Poland is doing with illegal immigrants, because I have a feeling that the Nazis have taken over a lot of Poland politically because of the influence of Putin. And so I'm just guessing that. But let's just say, yeah, I can't tell for sure, but I'm thinking you're a Nazi, so I'm going to go ahead and read your comments in Russian. The UK should do what Poland is doing about illegal immigration. What you're saying that needs fixing, Nazi in Poland or the Polish politicians. Polish politicians who are Nazis and they're Nazi supporters. Anybody who's anti-immigrant. How is he a good leader? Trump is shit now. Okay, hold on. This person is not a Nazi. They said Trump was shit. Maybe back then, but now he's a shit. No, you're a Nazi. If you're making excuses for early Trump, just like you're making excuses for your anti-immigrant Polish leaders, Euless, try not to address your audience as Nazis, mate. I'm not your mate. Try not to be Nazis. Euless, do you believe there's a good side and a bad side to all of this? Good guys and bad guys. Do you believe that? Yeah. I believe that. Good guys and bad guys. AOC, generally good guy. Jasmine Crockett, good guy. Bad guys, Trump. All Trump Hooteniers. But people that don't think there are any good guys and bad guys are just making excuses for bad guys. Like, there's obviously bad guys. You guys are just making excuses for them. Like, oh, I would do the same thing if I could. You know, you want to rape children like Trump does? President AOC 2028 freedom. That's a pinnable comment right there. No, the left in America is fine. There's nothing wrong with the left in America. Have you guys ever seen Kat Abu Ghazali? There's nothing wrong with the left in America. We haven't tried the left yet. We haven't done any left things. We haven't had any left leaders. But there's nothing wrong with the left in America. Again, check out Kat Abu Ghazali. Check out Jasmine Crockett. Check out AOC. Yeah, Donna Kaputinsky definitely fucked kids. I'm not making excuses for the left. I'm just informing you. The left has never been tried. Name a leftist president. We've never had a leftist president. I mean, make FDR or something. You know, like, not really. We haven't really. Pete Buttigieg. No. Do not check out Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg does not represent us. None of these Democrats, none of these centrist Democrat fascists represent us. Okay? It's AOC. It's Jasmine Crockett. Okay? And AOC even has flaws. Jasmine Crockett, not so much. But like AOC and Jasmine Crockett. Okay? Mom Donnie. Okay? Like, y'all are going to start to see. We're going to start electing leftists for the first time ever. I am morally superior. You're morally convenient. You want the feeling of righteousness without the inconvenience of knowing what you're talking about. No, dude, I'm morally superior. Tallarico said abolish ICE. Why is he running against Jasmine Crockett? Like, why is Jasmine Crockett running for Senate? Why isn't she running for president? Who's running for president? Gavin fucking Newsom? He can fuck all the way off. AOC and Crockett Mamdani. All literally highly regarded. Yeah. Any of them could be, well, Mamdani can't be president. He's not American born. But Jasmine Crockett can be. Or Cardi B. But thank you for saying AOC, Crockett, and Mamdani, all literally highly regarded. I mean, Trump looks up to Mamdani. He can't help it. Mamdani just fucking owned that little bitch. Made him admit to being a dictator and everything. So, anybody from TikTok? Sorry. Are any of you guys TikTok refugees from TikTok? You want to know what the accomplishments of Jasmine Crockett and AOC? They were elected to Congress. What did you do? horrible donkey hoof. Looks like Jasmine Crockett's going to get elected to Senate in Texas and take what? Ted Cruz's seat? Whose seat is she taking in the Senate? Ted Cruz was a senator, right? Is she taking his seat? Doo-doo-doo. Anybody from TikTok in the chat? Cruise and Bruise. Did you want to hear another song, James Wilson? They're known for denouncing ICE instead of your policies are concentration camps. Your policies are kidnapping and concentration camps. And you want to talk about policies? Your policies are taking the citizenship away from babies so that you can kidnap babies for Trump's baby sex trafficking ring. Those are your policies, and you want to talk about policies? Trump wants to take citizenship away from babies. Why does Trump want to take citizenship away from babies? Why does he care whether babies have citizenship? He wants to take citizenship away from babies so he can kidnap the babies. He wants to kidnap... Hello, Roger. He wants to kidnap the babies. Cruz is accused of rape. I mean, I think they're all rapists, right? All Republicans. If they weren't actually personally raping people, they're protecting rapists. I mean, it's the same thing. You found my yarn yesterday? Yeah, what were we talking about Judas stuff, Roger? Because I'd much rather talk about that than talking to these Nazis. Really not interested in the Nazis at all. I'll talk to you about Judas stuff, about replacing patriarchy, Christianity, war, and Trumpism. The whole timeline and associations this way is supposed to be: the system is guilty for murdering innocents and oppressing people. Reform the system. In this way, God is taking the side of the people and saying, even if he created a world where these fascist systems of government can arise, he is against the fascism of oppressive governments and wants us to focus on how they are wrong and reform them. Or, as I'm always pointing out online these days, Jesus is Antifa. But the whole message of Jesus to Judas shows awareness that once these things have been built up, it will take a long time to remove them. People have always understood this message of Jesus, even without the secret conversation with Judas. We have known, at least in our own secret ways, that Jesus and God are against fascism and oppression. But those forces have been so strong, are called the system for a reason, and they continue themselves even in Jesus' name and siphon support from many people who claim to or want to believe in Jesus. The key that Jesus gives Judas, that he knew he would find under the doormat right about now, is the key that shuts the whole system down. The proof that Jesus is only on our side and wants to end the evil system forever, now that we are ready. And the timeline helps us lock this in. That's just from my book, The Book of Judas. You might like it. But I'll talk to you about it live here. Where's the interesting person? Yeah, Jesus is Antifa. Super Antifa. It's not worth the 18 people, bro. Church of Judas. It's called Church of Judas. I pretty much am the Church of Judas. So it is kind of Puffin's Church of Judas right now. But once you take it, then it's your Church of Judas. I'm not trying to convince people to vote Democrat. I mean, people should vote Democrat, but you're a Christian, so you don't need to subscribe to that. Well, Jesus has set Judas aside to replace Christianity. So if you want to transition to the final form of what Christianity becomes, just look up this Judas stuff, or we'll talk about it. The Book of Thomas is good. I read that when I was a kid. It's good. The Book of Judas, or the Gospel of Judas. Gospel of Thomas is good. Gospel of Judas is better. I'll put it that way. Gospel of Mary is also good. Gospel of Mary was found in 1896. Gospel of Thomas was found in 1946, I think. Well, Harry Potter's transphobic, so you can't like Harry Potter anymore. But you can check out my book, Wendy the Witch School Dropout. I haven't read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but I figure it must be good because of how popular it is. What's your thoughts on the Book of Enoch? Never read it. I don't have much use for the Book of Enoch just because of the types of people I see talking about it all the time. I don't read much of the Bible now. The lights. Separate art from the artist type shit. I don't really listen to Morrissey. I'll sing you guys a vampire song, though, based on an REM song. Whose eyebrows are these? I'm no vampire, so why are these eyebrows like trees? These eyebrows are the eyebrows of Edward, or possibly Stefan. Whose eyebrows are these? They are his, they're not mine. He will suck out your life and use it to grow eyebrows, and vampire eyebrows will tempt you. I want eyebrows this size to clutter my gaze again. Eyebrows will make the world in love with me. I want eyebrows like these. These eyebrows will blur my view. I can spend days outside. I don't need eyebrows to keep my skin hidden from light. I'm just not that white. These eyebrows are these. Eyebrows will make the world in love with me. I'll never be trimming to see with eyebrows like these. Vampire eyebrows will tempt you. I want eyebrows this size to clutter my gaze again. Eyebrows will make the world in love with me. I want eyebrows like these. Dude, you found the philosophy of fun. Nobody's found the philosophy of fun before. No, I just accidentally hit the camera button. Yeah, the philosophy of fun is basically that you can have a philosophy where the main principle is fun. We start with the principle of fun. Fun is fun, you know? People like fun. Fun is good. Start criticizing capitalism, please. You can have more fun with less capitalism. If everything was free, everything would be more fun. One of the philosophies of fun's principles is the more the merrier. So the more the merrier means the maximum, like everybody is the merriest. If everybody can go to the amusement park and everybody can have a bowl of Cheerios and everybody can have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, etc., then that's the most fun. It's not fun if you're like, oh yeah, we had this great time in the amusement park and those people didn't get to go. You know, oh, I had this delicious peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They didn't get to have one. That's not as fun. The more the merrier is a principle of the philosophy of fun. If everything was free, who would be paying for it? Nobody. It's free. Here's a puffin koan for you. No one's ever been able to answer this. You know, like what is the sound of one hand clapping? It's like that. This. Here's the koan. Are you ready? You can all try to answer it. There's like 20 of you in here. Here's the koan. We'll spend the last 7 minutes of the live on this. What are the last 3 things you would make free? While you guys are answering the question, what are the last 3 things you would make free? I'm going to read Grow Maloney's comments because I like Grow Maloney. He's a good person, or they're a good person. I don't know their gender, but they're a good person. Okay, I'm with you, brother. I like Bernie and I'm anti-capitalist. Centrists are closeted conservatives. Exactly. Centrists enable fascists. Centrists are closeted conservatives. TikTok is run by Zionists. Well, so is Net and YouTube, but we got to talk somewhere, right? But TikTok is being shut down by Zionists right now. So welcome, TikTok refugees. That's why I'm holding up the TikTok book. Original TikTok. Democrats and Republicans are both right-wing. I mean, technically you're right. You're a Polish commie. Yeah, you're right. Completely true. Israeli Nazis are called Zio-Nazis, or not Zionists is what I call them. Not Zionists, yeah. Zio-Nazis, yeah. Cool cheesehead. Are you from Wisconsin too? No, I'm not from Wisconsin, but does that mean you're from Wisconsin? That's cool. Start criticizing capitalism, please. Okay, sorry. Everything free. That's a great criticism of I'm a dude, by the way. Okay, sweet. Everything is criticizing capitalism, right? Everything is free is criticizing capitalism. So here's the question. The last 3 things you would make free, meaning, okay, so they make healthcare free. Then they make, education free. Then they make food free, like say we start this process of making this thing free and then making this thing free and then making this thing free and then making this thing free. So once we've made every other thing free, what are the last 3 things? You get to pick 3 things that are not free anymore. I mean, that stay, you have to pay for them after everything else is free. But can you answer the question? Can you use your imagination and answer the question? After everything else has been made free, peanut butter. See, somebody gave one answer. So we've stopped paying for anything else, but one thing we're still going to pay for is peanut butter. And then two more. Dude, taxpayers, smaxpayers, dude, we're not talking about that. We're talking about everything's free. Okay, we're not talking about what are your taxes, dude. Everything's free. What are the last three things you would make free? Beer, weed, food. See? James Wilson answered the question. Okay, so even after everything else is free, beer and weed and food are things that you might still have to pay for. But the problem is that nothing is free. Well, some things are free. Lawrence says, very big question. Water, electricity, freedom. You have to pay, you have to put a quarter in for 24 minutes of more freedom. It's a trick question. It's a koan. It's a question inspired by the Japanese koans that don't have an answer. It's just supposed to make you think, right? Nobody can really answer it, because as soon as you say peanut butter and two other things, it doesn't make any sense. Well, why would people still pay for peanut butter? Why would still people pay for water? Why would people still pay for electricity? I'm not criticizing your answers. All answers are good answers. Answers are a lot better than you didn't even bother to answer. I'm not trying to trick people into answering, oh, you answered a stupid question. No, it's great that you answer. It probably says something. It's like, a Rorschach test. What do you think this ink blot looks like? But once you start making the real point of the question is to get people to think, once you start making everything free, everything becomes free. There's no reason to have money or charges or anything for anything. And that is, to make this full circle, one of the principles of Oz. You can still answer it. Looks like peanut butter. Exactly. Peanut butter wins. It's a very big question, almost unquestionably incapable of thinking on such a hard question. Yeah. It's just, in a world where everything was free, once you start making things free, you get to a tipping point where everything becomes free. And it's cool. There's no problem with everything being free. And one of the ways we can get to the world where everything is free is just by thinking about it. Hey, what if everything was free? So in the world of Oz, the reason why you haven't heard of the Oz books, even though everybody's seen The Wizard of Oz, you haven't heard of the books, is because in the books, he always emphasizes, we don't have money. We don't have war. The two things we don't have that make us different than the way you guys live is we don't have money and we don't have war. See? We don't have money and we don't have war. So the key to not having any money is to not have any war. The key to not having any war is to not have any money. This is how Oz is a prediction of the future. It's a fairyland, but it's also a prediction of the future. The future when we no longer have money and we no longer have war. Strangely, or coincidentally enough, when Jesus set Judas aside and he says, hey, you're going to come back and replace all patriarchy, Christianity, war, and Trumpism. You're going to come back and replace the Christian church. And when you replace the Christian church, you'll end war and Trumpism and patriarchy and Christianity and money. So both of these things fit well together. You end money to end war. You end war to end money. You end both of them together. Shout out Jesus for being a socialist. Yeah, thanks, Jesus. Jesus is Antifa. Jesus is our anti-king leader of no kings. Jesus is the anti-king leader of no kings, and we defeat the Antichrist Trump. With Jesus, we defeat the Antichrist Trump. So I'm going to shut this live down. I'm probably going to go smoke and then come back and do another live. So if you want to come back and see my live in a minute, but I never do lives more than an hour at a time. Okay, we replace the Christian church, all the Christian churches, with what Jesus calls the church of, or Jesus tells Judas, your church will replace all their churches. So I call it the church of Judas. Jesus doesn't say, hey, your church, the church of Judas, will replace all their churches. Jesus says your church will replace all their churches. Since he's talking to Judas when he says that, I call it the church of Judas. So if you want to see my other content while I'm out smoking until we come back for the next live, just look up the hashtag Church of Judas, and then it's all me. I'm the only person talking about it on the planet. So look up the hashtag Church of Judas, and we'll talk to you soon. Goddess bless you, Jesus bless you. Sorry, Goddess bless you, Mary bless you, Mary bless you, Mary bless you. Jesus bless you, Judas bless you. I bless you, and bless yourself. We'll do Minneapolis when we get back too.